The fact that there are some dumb people in the world is likely not too much of a surprise for all of you. But when people are really dumb, sometimes you just want to make them get what they deserve. Is it mean? Sure, absolutely. But sometimes it just feels oh so deserved, and you can't help but smile when they get their comeuppance. So, with that, allow us to show you 10 times that dumb people got what they deserved. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 10. The power of raw milk. When you were raised, there was things you were told not to go and do, right? Such as drinking raw milk. That milk that you potentially drink is one that has been processed through various means to ensure that it is safe and healthy. After all, not doing so can get you sick, and this has been proven in all sorts of ways over the years. Enter the dumb people. Some lawmakers in West Virginia wanted to make raw milk the thing you can drink no matter the cost, because not only did they say it was unconstitutional to ban the sale of raw milk in the state, they fought tooth and nail to lift the ban and give those who wanted raw milk what they deserved. Yep, that really did happen, and after the law was approved, these lawmakers decided to go and celebrate by chugging a glass of raw milk. And a little while later, they all got sick. They wouldn't admit the milk made them sick, but you could tell what really happened. We hope those lawmakers weren't reelected for all of our sakes. Number 9. Proof of a crime. People and cars are both a very good mix and a very bad mix. At times, vehicles are perfect because they get us to where we need to go. And sometimes, people will accidentally hit someone with their vehicle, which, well, that's bad. Just as bad is that instead of being sympathetic and checking on the person, they go and run away. In Dublin, Ireland, this exact thing happened to a person on the street. They were riding their bike, a taxi swooped in and hit them, and the taxi booked it out of there. Here's the catch. After hitting the person, their car identification number was left behind because of the impact. Whoops. Anyway, the person who got hit was fine, and since they had the identification number of the taxi, they were able to get them in trouble. Plus, they did post it on Facebook for good measure. That's why you need to be responsible, because if you don't and you get caught, everyone is going to know about it. Number 8. The BBC versus trolls. The internet age has given rise to a very terrible kind of person, a troll. They go around the internet and post either disparaging remarks or try and post controversial things just for the sake of being controversial. They don't care who they hurt as long as their voice is heard. That's what 41-year-old Darren Burton used to do, but he did it in a much worse way. He would go and post the most heinous of comments under the defense of the internet, and then Facebook being an open forum. Eventually, word got out to the BBC, the leader of British television, so they did an impromptu interview with Burton and revealed to his family what he was doing. Then, after doing an actual interview with him, they posted his name and address so that people could find him. And that started an onslaught of posting on his Facebook account from people who found out what he did. He was so scared, he not only deleted his account, he ran away as well. Some people would say that that is a little too harsh, but considering some of the things he did to people, it's only just desserts. And you know he had to do something very bad for the BBC to go this far with the story. Number 7. The Lion Prophet. There's a common logic that states that if you mess with wild lions, they're going to mess with you. Yes, humans and lions can get along, but it's rarer than you might suspect. Yet one person apparently didn't care about that. At the Kruger National Park in South Africa, a man was going on a safari ride. And just like most safari rides, he was in a vehicle when this all happened. The problem, though, was that this guy claimed to be a prophet from the Christian faith. And he suddenly had the compulsion to go to the lion's den and try to get them to follow his commands. Right. Nothing wrong with that logic. Anyway, he got out of the vehicle, made it to the lions, tried to entrance them, and then promptly got chased away by the lions and literally had his butt clawed off by them. So, I guess you could say he won't be leaving this event behind. Number 6. Workplace etiquette. Workplace etiquette is something that all of us need to do, but not everyone wants to do even if it's the most simple and basic of things, including keeping the bathroom clean. For one office, one guy would systematically go and use the bathroom, and it would stink to high heaven afterwards, much to the chagrin of the other workers, and even when a manager of the place went and told them to use the nearby bathroom, which was bigger, they didn't do it. So one coworker had enough and got even. They monitored said worker and knew exactly when they would go to the bathroom. So the next day, they went in, took out all of the toilet paper, and left with it. The perpetrator came in, used the bathroom, and found themselves in an ultimate dilemma: revenge. Number 5, proper treatment. Misogyny is sadly something that exists in this day and age, whether men want to admit it or not, and it can come out in the worst of ways. But thankfully, there are cases of comeuppance. In Ohio one night, 2 idiots got drunk, started harassing a woman, and even threw a bottle of alcohol at her car. They were just jerks, plain and simple. They were arrested and were going to be put in jail. But the jailhouse that night was overcrowded, so they went in front of a judge and got a different ruling. Mainly, they were ordered to put on women's clothes, wigs, and makeup and walk up and down the Ohio street in question for over an hour. We doubt they made fun of women again, because they wouldn't want to do that again. Also, props to the judge for both poetic justice and just having a great sense of humor. Number 4, coming through. Remember how we just talked about vehicles and people not always being a good mix? Well, one of the big reasons for that is that they're in such a hurry to get everywhere, and they feel the need to rush to get everywhere, which of course leads to all sorts of incidents and accidents that could have been avoided. Such as this guy who was in such a rush to get past some people that he didn't notice there was a guardrail coming up, and he got caught on it. Now, he was not only waiting to get pulled off of it, he most certainly is going to be even angrier at himself at the car bill that's coming. Be mindful of the road or pay the price. Number 3, yeah, keep talking. Telemarketers suck. There's no way around it. They suck because they'll call you at all hours of the day, try and talk with you to buy products you won't use, and even if you hang up on them, they always call back later. It's very annoying. So in 2011, a man named Lee Beaumont had enough. He was getting so many of these cold calls that he decided to charge them for talking. Yes, this is legal and it is hilarious. He got his home phone turned into a premium line, thus allowing him to charge about 16 cents a minute for people to call him. The telemarketers started calling, and he let them talk for a long time, raking up the minutes and the cash. By the end of a few months, he had $470 raked in just from the telemarketers. In case you couldn't tell, the telemarketers are the dumb people, obviously. Number 2, found footage. Teens are mean at times, and they can also be very stupid. What's worse is when they're mean, stupid, and bored, such as when some teens in Australia decided to rip seat covers off of trains and then throw them out the window onto oncoming traffic. Yeah, not cool. The dumb part here, though, is that when they recorded themselves doing this, it was uploaded onto Facebook, and they were arrested because they all got identified. Obviously. They face up to 5 years in prison for their crimes, and they can't refute the evidence because it came from them. Classic. Cops and robbers. One kid named Cameron Cox was in trouble with the law, and since he knew he would be caught eventually, he decided that he was going to be a Hollywood criminal of sorts and get the police to go on a long chase with him. He even went onto social media to challenge them to catch him. Except they did, not long after that posting. So that was dumb, and you didn't even get famous. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at dumb people who just couldn't help but be so dumb that people wish karma would find them, and it did? Which of these stories left you gaping in terms of how dumb people are? Which stories did you feel delivered the most poetic of justice? Do you know another story that could perfectly fit this list? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.